Gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah. Push and pull and repel any hate, go create what you want, feel compelled, yeah. And once you finally get a taste of the race, you'll never look back once you felt that. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. About others way before myself, yeah. I guess that's why I feel like I go through hell, damn. Wasting time on your dreams instead of mine, yeah. About to turn this franchise around on a dime, man. It's all about finding your right state of mind. It's all about turning the worst into fine. It's all about time and the work and the climb. From the thirst we will rise, I'm immersed in this life. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact. Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep
Hello and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and let's get my smoke on. Smells so good. I picked up some medicine today at the dispensary. Pretty happy about that. I got a headache again for the fourth day in a row. Actually, it's the third day or the fourth day. Right now, I'm thinking it's just my head is just this pressure, and the shields are down right now, and we're getting bombarded with energy. And wasn't feeling good today. I went to physical therapy at the pool and was not feeling it. Was not feeling it today, and I had a great session. But and my therapist is awesome. But my like everything's just hurting, and my neck is killing me. I took some medicine to see if it calms me down, but nothing's really working. There's nothing that he can do or take to make it feel better because this is energy that's coming from the sun and it's affecting a lot of people and it's causing people to go a little wild. And not only me, but the world is being impacted by the energy from the sun and the solar flares that are heading this way. Um, Today, actually, was it today or you know, for us today? But Mount Etna erupted, and I could show that video. Um, let's do that. Let's go to the Mount Etna video, and this is what happened. Powerful eruption at Mount Etna, and sends people running. Look, all these tourists. Look at them running. They better run for their lives. They are not in a safe area, and I think it's all cute to see this happen. Look at them. They're running like ants. No, you not catch me on no volcano. Sorry, I'm not that much of a daredevil to have to experience this. This is like very serious. That region has been very active with volcanic energy, and it's going to continue to happen because of what we're getting as solar flares, and it's a lot of energy, a lot of like we're in the extreme high with energy right now. Wow, it looks so beautiful, but look at that. Look at that. That's not good. That's not a good sign. That's actually really bad. Let's check out the AP. AP is a short one. Ugh, CNN. I hate CNN. I'd rather jump off a bridge than watch CNN. Yeah, we could watch the AP real quick. See the tourists. Italy, and they're taking like it's a nice, it's not nature, and it is history, making some history. I don't remember the last time this volcano erupted, and it seems pretty serious right there. That's a lot of volcanic ash going into the atmosphere. Yeah, this is a really big concern. There's a lot of energy that this earth has from within that is popping up. Wouldn't catch me nowhere near that. I'm sorry. I just would not be next to a volcano. That's wild. That's very wild. You see, this planet is acting up, is doing its thing, and it's not a good thing, but it is what it is. And let's go to the next thing that's about to pop off soon, and that's Putin has to be nervous about this. Experts warn. Yeah, because they might come after Putin with these drones. Like they had a really serious drone attack, and it should put the world on notice. And not only that, but it's giving ideas. And this is the problem. It's giving ideas to certain people around the world. I'll come back to this real quick, but it is giving ideas to people around the world for something that they can do and easily do. All they got to do is go to Amazon or go purchase a bunch of drones, or get it at aftermarket. Aftermarket. You can get these drones like by the dozens at a cheap price, and then they're using them to attack. Now you're gonna give ideas, and this is what the biggest mistake that Zelensky did. He just gave cartels and enemies uh, this hope and that they could do the same attacks and get away with it, um, which is senseless. That's so stupid. This is gonna cause a big war, even bigger, to erupt. I have a feeling they're not calling it World War III, but I hope that the U.S. is not dumb enough to fall for it and have to send in troops and all this craziness, because that's just the biggest mistake. This is their battle. It's between them two. Let them solve it together. I don't understand how you could talk peace and try to go to a location in was it Istanbul in Turkey to have peace. Actually, was it ceasefire talks that they were having, and all of a sudden they're Ukraine is throwing drones and sneaking in drones and destroying bombers, like these planes that are very expensive. And I mean, I don't see nothing positive coming out of this. I mean, the only thing that was positive is that they are agreeing to exchange soldiers and prisoners that were, held captive. They're exchanging the soldiers and the prisoners, and I just think they're just gearing up for something really big to break out. And I think Russia doesn't mind giving back Ukraine their prisoners or soldiers, because Russia's going to go after them and kill them anyways. So it's just senseless. Like Trump was saying, this is a stupid war, stupid. Biden, I blame Biden. Of course, we have to blame Biden for everything. But Zelensky did mention that they had these plans for over a year and 18 months. So it was a year and a half. A year and a half. Okay. So that means half of the year, which is the 6 months that right now, congratulations to Trump, is he's about to reach six months in office. But that means Zelensky started this plan a year before Trump took office. And that's dangerous because he was, this is reckless. I would have never recommended this. I would have never drew up this plan to go after the bombers, because you don't know what you're really messing with. You think that that's the only bombers that the Russia has? Are you kidding me? Like what you did was just maybe 0.5%. You took out 0.5% of the arsenal that Russia has. Now, when Russia hits you back really hard, and I'm telling you, like, punch in the face hard, don't come crying to the U.S. asking for weapons. Don't come crying to us asking for money, because you're not going to get it. Because you start something, you finish it yourself. Don't go asking for help and try to get someone to come and fight your battles for you, because it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And the biggest mistake right now is continuing to funnel money into Ukraine and give them weapons. I would not do that. If I was Trump, I would say, listen, I try to make this peace deal, but you both are too damn stubborn. You both don't listen, and you guys are continuing to act stupid. You know what? Fight it between you two. I don't care. You two fight it to the death. May the best man win. peace be with you. And if you die, too bad. That's on you, because you had plenty of opportunity for peace, and none of you guys stepped up to try to settle this score between you two. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. But I have a feeling bigger things are going to be happening in that part of the world between Russia and Ukraine. So let's go back over here. Let me set this up, and let's take a look at this report. I wish it was so much easier for StreamYard. It seems like it's too many clicking. I wish it was just a lot faster. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Now former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Trump during his first term. KT, it's wonderful to see you. Here's what the Wall Street Journal wrote yesterday about this series of raids. They write, they won't alter the course of the war, but they do show the ability of Ukraine to strike far from its border with Russia. The intelligence required to pull off the operation, supposedly in the planning for 18 months, is also reason for the Kremlin to be discomfited. Did Ukraine have some Russian help? What do you make of the insinuation there that these drone attacks are evidence that some of Putin's own military and intelligence personnel maybe are turning on him?
He's got to be nervous because what this attack has shown, and it was just brilliant by the Ukrainians, unprecedented, brilliant, very effective.
It's not brilliant.
But what it shows is how incompetent the Russian military is. And in an odd way, this makes peace agreements or peace talks far less likely than they were even 48 hours ago. Why? Because on one hand, Ukraine is thinking, whoa, we're pretty good at this. We want to keep going. And on the other hand, Vladimir Putin's got to be thinking to himself, okay, I thought I was going to have a great summer offensive to get back territory, that I'll be in a really strong position to negotiate or to even keep fighting. But Putin's got to be a little nervous now about his own longevity, because
this lady's a clown. I don't know who this lady is. She's a former Trump national security advisor. I think she's a fucking idiot. No, you don't do what you just did. You're instigating. That's what you just did. You retaliated and you instigated and you made it worse than what it is. You don't think Putin's gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna it's okay. We'll let you do whatever you want. No, Putin is not like that. Prepare for major escalation. Prepare for these weapons that they're gonna unleash on Ukraine, and they're gonna hit them hard, hit them so hard that the world's gonna be like, what the fuck, and this stupid bitch right here, no wonder she's former, because she's not on Trump's side, because Trump's not going to have this clown giving him information, because that was a stupid remark she just said there. No, you just instigated, you poked the bear, and what the hell are you going to do when you poke the bear? You're going to try to run, but the bear is going to catch up to you, and it's going to fucking maul you. You damn idiot. This lady's a fucking idiot. And she knows too. The host, she knows. She looked to her she looked to her right and she looked down. So she already knew that this lady is just a clown. So let's continue this story because it's just aggravating me.
If he goes to a negotiating table, Jillian, and he looks like he's making any concessions, his own people are going to say, well, what's this war been about? To give up, this is not good. So I think Putin's got to worry about whether he's got problems at home, which will really preclude his ability to do any kind of negotiating.
I mean, to that point, the reality is that Russia has spent probably more than 2 years in this thing than they had planned on. They have lost tens of thousands of lives, more than they had counted on, spent billions of dollars more. At what point does Putin really need to account for the fact that he's just feeding lives into this grist mill that he has created?
Despite it, all the things that you said are absolutely correct. But popular opinion in Russia is actually in favor of continuing the war, of getting Ukraine back. Why? Because the economy in Russia hasn't suffered, mostly because of Biden's energy policies. Russia still has fairly high reserves from oil prices being high and the oil that they've sold, even illegally that they sold. And also because Putin's drawn the population, he's not drawn from the middle class in the cities or the educated people or the elites. He's drawn his cannon fodder, if you will, from the rural areas. So it's not really
and North Korea,
in Moscow Central. And North Korea, and who knows what the Chinese are doing. So I think that all of a sudden the incentives for Putin are to keep fighting. Why? Because if he stops fighting, he might be in big trouble at home. The big decision now is going to be Donald Trump's. It's going to land on his desk. What is he going to do? Is he going to impose crippling economic sanctions on Russia to really devastate their economy, to force Putin?
You see, this lady's a clown. This lady's a clown. I don't feel like listening to her, to be honest with you. That's why she's former, okay? But she's a fucking idiot, all right? Like I said, Russia has enough weapons that could eliminate Europe, could eliminate Ukraine easily. Eliminate Ukraine. They're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and they're letting Ukraine waste their weaponry and waste their rockets and waste all the resources they have. Of course, they're being replenished somehow. They're getting weapons into Ukraine. Look at all these drones that they got, and they got it into Russia, and they got it into really deep into Russia. Which, yeah, there might be assistance within Russia, but I start thinking, borders, right? Anybody could cross the border and pull out this kind of event. The same thing that could happen here in the U.S. You don't think this could happen in the U.S. where, we got these cartels that are sneaking in drones and weapons, and they could use it amongst and against the American people? You don't think that can't happen? I got news for you. The summer is going to be very hot. And I'll tell you right now, there's going to be more of this craziness going on. I guarantee it. I put my life on it. Let's continue with this stupid idiot here.
Wouldn't have an agreement? Or is he going to look at Ukraine and say, look, you guys don't want peace either. I'm going to pull back. I'm going to withhold, or I'm not going to resupply Ukraine. So really the major decision maker is going to be Donald Trump.
What would you like to see him do?
I know what I want to see Trump do before this stupid bitch answers. Trump is going to be like, look, Zelensky, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, but now I'm really doubting you. And I think you're a fucking idiot. And I don't know what drugs you're on. Whatever it is, get it away from me. You're very toxic. You're a big time opportunistic individual, and I'm cutting all supplies to you. No weapons, no funding, no nothing. Good luck in your future endeavors, if you have one. I'm not helping no more. That's the biggest move Trump could do, to put his foot down, because he wants peace. And we all here want peace. And the only way we're going to be able to do this is stop funding Ukraine. Stop funding the war. Stop putting these weapons into their hands to use against the Russians. Okay? You got to understand, this war that's going on right now in Ukraine, it's a land grab, but it's land that belonged to Russia. This is Russian land. No, but I hear crickets. Yeah, it's their land. And they're just trying to get it back. And they're getting it back forcefully. Okay? Ukraine's all, they're taking everything, taking our land. It's their land. You know what I mean? It's theirs. The same thing like with Israel is doing with Gaza. Like they're gonna take that land, and it's gonna be Israel's land. It's just land grabs, and China's doing the same thing. They're gonna go and take Taiwan, because Taiwan is their land. But what they're trying to do here in the United States, they're trying to build these chip manufacturers here, so that way they can move all of Taiwan's chip manufacturers to the U.S. That's the goal what Trump's trying to do. He's trying to get all these manufacturers to build here and build their chips here, and they'll be safe here because you won't be threatened by the Chinese. They could have the little island that they want. Here, take Taiwan. That's fine. We'll have them Taiwanese. We'll have their like chip makers here, and they could produce everything here. That's what's gonna happen. That is what I see. I see China going after Taiwan, yes. But I would want, them to move the chips and move all their infrastructure and move it here. Move it here to the United States where it will be safe and they can mass produce here. And you will always be protected because you're here in the United States. All right, let's listen to this crazy nut with what she would think what she would want Trump to do.
Wow, it's a really tough one.
Nobody
wants to reward Russia for what they've done. Everyone is thinking Ukraine has done so well, but on the other hand, this war could continue on and on. And as President Trump has said, he's a man of peace, and he really hates the loss and the futility of war. So I think he's got to thread that needle very carefully. Can he use economic sanctions on Russia to bring him to the negotiating table? Can he use pressure on Zelensky to bring him to the negotiating table? Can he broker a deal where each side can walk away claiming victory, but at least the war stops? I don't know. It's going to test Donald Trump's deal-making abilities to the extreme.
He could do it.
Does it surprise you?
Just stop funding Ukraine.
Before I have to let you go. In the last couple of weeks, to see President Trump expressing surprise at Putin. At one point, he even said he felt betrayed by him.
Yeah, I wonder where he got these weapons.
He thought that Putin would respond to economic pressure, which Trump can put on, and Putin somehow seems to want to go for broke. So you might have a situation where neither side really wants to settle. Both sides want to keep fighting.
All right, Katie McFarland.
It seems like Ukraine wants to keep fighting. Russia's trying to they're doing their thing. They're gonna land grab because that's their land, but I can feel the energy that Ukraine is fighting for that land. It's trying to keep that land, and since they're getting an open, pretty much open door of weapons that are being funneled in to their country, and they're using it like crazy. I think Donald Trump, what he needs to do is he needs to stop funding the war, stop funding Ukraine. That's the only way you're truly gonna stop this. Because then who's gonna bring in the weaponry? What, Europe? Europe is gonna bring weapons and so forth. Who the fuck do you think Europe gets their weapons from? The United States. Trump could go real quick and say, "I'm not sending no weapons to Europe." Damn. Checkmate. That's how you will stop this war. You cut it off. You cut it off from the whole union, the whole European Union. Nobody's getting fucking weapons from the US. And don't worry, we can sell weapons still. If you still want to sell weapons, we got really good individuals and so individuals, but they're very good businessmen, and they're up and up, and they want these weapons, and that's Saudi Arabia. That is the Middle East. They're gonna need it because of Iran. Because I think Iran is the bigger fish that we need to tackle. Iran is a big problem. Very, very, very big problem. And they have a good amount to develop about 10 bombs. I mentioned, I think it was like I said between, I think it was 5 or 10 bombs. And it's true. It's like 10 bombs they can make with the uranium that they got. And it could be dirty missiles, dirty bombs, dirty rockets. And they can shoot them to Israel. Now, is it going to be a hypersonic weapon that can penetrate and outmaneuver the Iron Dome? We don't know. They've never been tested. The Iron Dome only had never been tested by a hypersonic missile, so we don't know. We don't know. The U.S. already is starting to quickly, and this is happening really fast. They're starting to develop the Golden Dome, and they're starting to put up like getting everything set up because they know something's big is about to go down, and if it all comes down to it, Iran will shoot a missile and try to penetrate the US. Because the US right now don't they have the weapons. It's just like, are they gonna show their cards? Are they gonna like, you know, no. I like Texas Hold'em, bitch. I ain't showing you my cards yet. I'm holding this for a good minute. Like, the Trump is the man. He's the one that's gonna have to. He will get it resolved, but it might get dirty before it gets better. Because remember, this is Trump. Okay, you have that Russia and Ukraine shit going on, and that's fine and dandy. But his attention is not really on that. His attention right now is on Iran. Okay, because Iran is building these bombs that they're not supposed to, and they know this, and that's why Trump is repositioning the ships. They're not going to Ukraine. You don't see any ships from the US going to the Black Sea to go help Ukraine. No. Oh, they're being rerouted, and they're going right back pretty close to Iran, and they're waiting for the call. Because at any minute, Trump could say go, and it's all blitz, everything to eliminate those weapons and those factories where they're producing them. And a lot of these places are in mountain terrain, so you're going to need a lot of bunker buster bombs and cluster bombs to really penetrate. It's just, I mean, they're saying 10. They can make 10 weapons. I say a little bit more than that. I think they're underestimating them, and that's been the whole problem for like the past 4 decades. You underestimate Iran, and Iran will show you what they're capable and how radical they can be. And look, they infiltrated Yemen. They infiltrated the Palestinians there in Palestine. They infiltrated like neighboring like Syria. They're even in Jordan. They're sleeper cells in there. Like, they're all over. They're all over the place. Like Lebanon, that's a haven of them there, and they're all from Iran. So there are militia soldiers already out, and this, and they're here too in the United States. They snuck in through that open border. There's so many of them here that I'm surprised that they don't put the U.S. on fucking high alert. U.S. should be on high alert because with all the and then when it happens, I'm gonna be like, remember episode 2? I told you so. And then it's like too late. You know, nobody listens. Trump, I only have like 2 people watching. You could be one of them if you want. Just hire me. I'll be your like psychic, like I'll be like your right hand man whenever you need some kind of information of how I feel. I can let you know on every story, and I can feel the energy, and I can help them out so much. Man, I wish I would get that call. Boy, I would be like, yes sir, I'm fucked up, but my head is still alive. I'm still alive, so hey, let's do it. Let's do it, Trump. I wouldn't mind to helping. Oh, that would be something. Trump hires me as a psychic. That would be a dandy of a story, man. That would be so great for my life. But let's see here. We got McAnally and warning to the Republicans. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that story. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about some of the Colorado terror suspect. Yo, they only gave that dude, what was it, $10 million bond. Why would they set a bond period? There should be no bond. This is a fucking disgrace. This is Colorado, okay? Since I'm talking about the story, let's get into that story. Let me just make sure I got everything lined up the way I want it, because there's a couple of more that I want to talk about. So let me close this one out. And we're going to go and see that story. We're going to start off with, damn, I got a few of them open. Holy crap. Hold on. This one, that was the Colorado. This is Colorado. This one's another Colorado. And this is another Colorado. Shit, I got 4 stories of Colorado. Let's start with the first one here. Yeah, let's start with the first one here. Let's bring it over on this side here and let's check it out, because this attack was wild, man. Wild energy. So, expect more of this to happen. This is like a tease of what's coming. A tease. All right, let me make sure I got my camera over here ready. And let's begin.
Dozens of law enforcement agencies responding to the terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, that FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino says is being investigated as an ideologically motivated violence. The NYPD posting on X, "We're monitoring the horrific attack in Colorado, targeting an event for Israeli hostages. The NYPD has already increased our presence at religious sites throughout New York City for Shabbat, which with highly visible patrols and heavy weapons teams will continue to track this closely." Former NYPD detective Dr. Oscar Odom joins me now. Dr. Odom, thank you so much for being here. I mean, after Washington, D.C. and now Boulder, Colorado, the concern is copycats motivated by these violent attacks. Will this happen in New York City or elsewhere once again?
Yes. Well, what happens is, first of all, terrorism is premeditated, politically motivated acts of violence. NYPD is always on guard 24 hours. We prepare when there's not even a time to prepare. So we have to, keep our minds open and always stay on alert, keep our head on the swivel to make sure, because it can happen any place, anytime, but the key to is information beforehand and also response just in case it does happen. And
the numbers, Dr. Odom, are so troubling when it comes to anti-Semitic incidents. 9,354 last year. That's a 344% increase over the past 5 years. That means that there are more anti-Semitic incidents that have taken place as a result of October 7th, the attack there in Israel. And when it comes to this specific situation in Boulder, Colorado, the suspect allegedly came to the United States as an illegal immigrant from Egypt. So the presence of illegal immigrants who we know and don't know must complicate things for police.
Almost definitely. So we have to look at the data too, evidence-based and data-driven, to make our decisions. And also, once again, keep our heads on a swivel because of the fact that we have documented and undocumented people that are here and we don't know what's on their minds. So we have to pay alert to all our intelligence sources, all the undercovers, people that are speaking out, protests, different things of that nature. We have to keep our eyes on the prize.
Yeah. So for our Jewish viewers out there, or really anybody, because when these attacks happen, it could affect anybody. What's being done right now in New York City and cities and towns across the country to combat this?
Well, definitely everybody's on alert. They have all the different units. NYPD, we have an intelligence unit. We have a unit that, surveys all of this. So we have our head on a swivel, so to speak, watching everything that is taking place. And we are on alert 24/7, all of our units.
All right. So also some disturbing numbers were just released regarding crime against police officers in New York City. Assaults on New York City cops have surged a shocking 63% over the past 6 years. And this number is
I don't go to New York City.
In the wake of the Black Lives Matter protest.
Hold on. I don't go to New York City. I live an hour and a half from New York City. An hour and a half. That's just a little ride. For me, that's a little drive, an hour and a half. And I'm in New York City. And I don't even want to go there. My energy tells me don't go there. Like it keeps, and I'm like, man, they have so many cool things to do and stuff. And my energy inside keeps telling me don't go there. It's not good. Go once they have a new AG in place and they kick out Letitia James. When they kick her out and she's no longer the AG of New York, and New York City, all that stuff. And once they start cleaning up and start letting the agents go in there and do a mass like exodus, which I have a story about Boston that happened today, where 1,500 illegal immigrants got arrested today and are going to be deported from Boston. So after this story and stuff, after we go through these stories, I'm gonna jump on that one so we can see that one.
There was this trend of throwing water on police officers and attacking cops just because they're cops. The numbers have skyrocketed even since then. We just stopped talking about this.
Absolutely. Revolving doors of justice. So what happens is they're not being held accountable. They're coming in and they're letting them right back out again.
It's pretty
so
high.
Once this happened, the numbers are going to definitely increase because they feel
in the
that
past
they have
6 years.
carte blanche, so to speak, to attack our law enforcement officials who put their lives on the lines for everybody 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah, and those numbers were about targeted attacks on police officers. Let's talk about the subway system as well. There have been 255 subway assaults in the city this year, up 19% from last year. Here's Governor Kathy Hochul during her State of the State address in January. Listen here.
I want to see more uniformed police officers, not just on the platforms, but more importantly, on every single train overnight, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. for the next 6 months. The state will support these efforts financially.
Okay, so that was January. We are now in June, and that did happen, an increased police presence in the subway system. But the result of it is that more passengers were being attacked and more cops are being attacked as well.
Yes, once again, the revolving door of justice. So what happens is when these people do these different things, they just let them right back out again, as opposed to holding them accountable, even if they have to put in some sort of program or treatment. By letting them right back out, it gives them, once again, carte blanche to go out there and harm our law enforcement community.
Man, expanding the police presence can only go so far when the revolving door of the police stations keeps on going. And
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just crazy. That's New York, right? So, see if we get some more information on this Colorado. See what's up.
All right, back to our top story. The federal government filing hate crime charges against the man accused of carrying out yesterday's terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Let's bring in Jonathan Turley now, constitutional law professor and a Fox News contributor. All of us are just sick to our stomachs over this horrendous attack, Jonathan. And now we're learning brand new details. As you just heard with the White House press secretary on moments ago, they found 14 unlit Molotov cocktails at his side in his car when they were making the arrest. This is a man with full intentions to do what he did. And in fact, when confessing to this, said he would do it again. Your reaction to the charges?
I'm sorry for pausing it, but I have to. It's my fucking show. They have their show, Fox News. So this is my mind over your matter. It's my motherfucking mind. It's my opinion. Okay. He said one of those. Because they said he had a flamethrower. Where's the flamethrower? Like, I'm looking for like fucking, like, I don't know, like Bowser shooting flames or some shit, right? Nothing. Like, I don't see no flamethrower. I see him holding some bottles, and I'm assuming there's fuel in it, right? Because supposedly he lit one off. But wouldn't there, like, he continue, like, if he had that many bottles, wouldn't he just like keep throwing and lighting them up and throwing it everywhere, and just like burn everything around there? It's just like, this is just what's to come. This is just what's to come, man. And we're coming into summer. It's gonna be a hot summer. Don't be around any of this shit. Stay away from it. Stay away from people, unstable people. Like, stay away from immigrants. Know your immigrant friends. Know their status. If they're your friend, they should share the status with you, so that way you could back them up. Because the motherfucker coming here, he think he's like, I'm gonna back him up, and you're illegal. No, you're illegal. How did you come in? Through Mexico? Oh, guess what? Peace, deuces. You're out. Get out of here. But it's gonna get well. I'm gonna get to that story about Boston. I'll probably do it right after this one. Well, I wanted to see the judge because I do have a video of the judge. Let's listen to this video first, and then we'll go to the judge and see about that $10 million bond. First of all, that's a slap in the face. That's pure Democratic country. Fucking Colorado. You guys are so fucking stupid. Like, you would think you guys smoke so much pot, you would fucking realize what the fuck you're dealing with there. The judge set a $10 million bond. Are you kidding me? This should be no bond. No bond. No opportunity to even try. How about if someone does go and coughs up the money and get them out? What they're going to do? What they're going to do? ICE is going to get him, right? Because he made bond. So ICE is going to capture him. So where is he safer? Is he safer in our jail system or with ICE? That's gonna probably send his ass to El Salvador. Telling you, he's not stupid. He got caught. He did what he did, but he didn't take it to the extreme. And they will have some leniency on him a bit. He will be charged with about 8 counts, pretty much of attempted murder to begin with, but didn't kill anybody, but was a terror, and he was here legally, so they can hold him federal, and they can kick him out of the country and send him to El Salvador. They take him there's a deal between Trump and with El Salvador. They will house the worst immigrants we have here that causes harm and chaos. And this individual just bought himself a ticket to El Salvador. He bought himself a ticket. I'm telling you, listen to me. Just listen.
Well, it's so hard to be shocked today when you see all the things happening around us, but the utter depravity of this individual, the lack of humanity, just continues to shock the conscience of the nation. It certainly should be shocking to anyone, regardless of how you feel about the conflict in the Middle East. And this is a classic terrorism case. What the evidence shows is that there was preparation, rather deadly preparation, his intention to target people over their religion, and clearly an effort to terrorize.
But it was the thing that, okay, here's the police arresting him. But the thing is that he could have kept going, and he didn't. He could have kept firebombing them with Molotov, but he didn't. So, man. Something's trying to tell me to say it. Damn, I'm gonna have to say it. It seems staged. It seems staged. It seems pre-planned, premeditated. But didn't kill. He didn't have a gun. He didn't have a knife. He had the Molotovs. And from the sight of what I'm looking, he probably threw the bottle on the ground really hard with it, like to scare them. And a lot of fuel is in that bottle, so when you slam it shoots out. And it maybe when the witnesses they call in saying, "Oh, he had a flamethrower," that's why you hear reports. Oh, he was carrying a flamethrower and these Molotovs. I don't think he had a flamethrower. What it was is when he smashed the bottle on the ground with that force, and then you had the gas escape. It's a raft of fire coming at you because it's following the motion of the fuel, and the fuel is moving that way. Guess what? It's like it's gonna go that way. I try to see it as like if I'm there, you know, like if I'm and when I watch these videos, it's like I'm there, and that's what I do with astral projecting, is putting yourself at the scene at that video, and you're looking at everything because it's happened, it's real, and I could tap there and look around and see like, okay, I could see them doing all this crazy shit, and they're doing their stuff, and then he comes and just like throws the bottle down like real hard, and talks about his countrymen and free Palestine, whatever that he was saying. I could see them, and then there will be copycats. It always happens. Like I said, they're gonna be a copycat for what Ukraine is doing to Russia with those drones. You don't think that Iran don't make fucking drones? You don't think Iran could set up these drones into little bombs and have nuclear like nuclear bomb, not nuclear bomb, but a nuclear device, a dirty device that where it hits, it explodes, and all the radiation, whatever in it, it just gets out, and that area will be contaminated. Like, you gotta think smart, think small. Big is never the answer, or when you have big bulky weapons, sometimes the little ant, can do more until you step on it. But drones, that's wild. And I know the Mexican cartel they do have drones. Trust me. They have drones that are so high, they go high in the sky, and they deliver the goodies, I'll say. The drugs. They're definitely using drone and drop and sending it to a drop site and so forth. And the thing is that they travel very high, and they go straight up into the sky, and they go very high, and then they go back, and they don't really get detected. But there's a lot of those drones already here, and there's people here that have there's people normally they're regular people have drones, You know, you don't think that someone is hoarding some drones in some warehouse and maybe have hundreds, maybe thousands of drones just there at his place that he could be making makeshift bomb drones as we speak? There might be someone out there doing that, and we don't know. Look what happened to Russia with the trailers were filled with drones, and they deployed them. Right, it's like right in your in the deepest part of your country, and other parts of your country, all over. That's wild. How come that wasn't scanned? How come those trailers weren't scanned? They don't have checkpoints where they could like weigh the vehicles, because I know here in the United States we have like checkpoints like for the trucks where they go in. It's like waiting, like the weight zones where they gotta go and weigh the truck, and you have to have a certain amount of weight, and they inspect the truck. They'll open it and check inside it and make sure like everything's good. How come that wasn't done there? I don't understand, Russia. That was a big time slip if that was true, because that vehicle made it really deep into Russia. That's a big time fail on Russia and their security. So there's someone sleeping in the top, and I think Putin is realizing he has some moles, and his around him he has some moles, and he knows it. All right, let me all right, let's skip this one. Let's go to the judge. That $10 million $10 million to bottom out.
Just sort of sustain.
All right, you're just listening in here to this on Live and Now from Fox, and I believe now stepping into the courtroom in Boulder, Colorado, you can see this individual. I believe that is Mohammed Solomon, the 45-year-old suspect, now being charged with a federal hate crime, also attempted murder after this terror attack in Boulder, Colorado yesterday on this Pearl Street Mall. We're learning more information about the victims, the identities, and an increased number of victims now reaching the level of 12. You can see the Boulder terror attack suspect now making a court appearance. They're waiting at the door. You can see the judge now talking. Let's listen into this here on Live Now from Fox as we're following it closely.
I have appearances of counsel, please.
Ken Kuffner, praying for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Catherine Harold on behalf of Mr. Soleiman, who is present in custody. Mr. Soleiman, good afternoon. This is the first advisement, and I have just a couple of matters that I need to cover with you. I'm going to ask many of the questions that I have to your counsel, but I need to first address you directly and make sure that you have received and that you understand the protection order that the court just issued. It keeps you from contacting any of the people who are named as the victims in the alleged offense. Did you receive the protection order? Do you understand it? Thank you. Ms. Harold, I know that Mr. Soleiman has seen a video that addresses his rights during the case. Do you waive further formal advisement of those rights, or would you like him further advised? I waive any further reading or advisement, Your Honor. Thank you. With respect to bond, the court previously set bond on the written affidavit. It is set at $10 million cash only. The court has not done any non-monetary conditions. I'd like to know if either party wants to address either the amount or any non-monetary conditions of bond at this time. Mr. Kuffner. Your Honor, I am going to reserve any bond argument for the future, so I don't have any response with regards to non-monetary conditions either.
Judge, we are fine addressing it at filing of charges.
Okay, so
it should be no bond.
The bond at this time remains $10,000 cash only.
10,000.
With respect to the filing of charges, is it accurate that the parties believed that the appropriate day was Thursday afternoon back in this courtroom?
Judge, we would jointly ask for Thursday, June 5th at 3:30.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense is available at that time. Thursday, June 5th at 3:30 back here in this physical courtroom. for filing of charges. Anything further from the people?
No, Your Honor.
May I just have one moment to speak with Mr. Kuffner? Yes.
I'm gonna replay this again. Is it $10,000 to get him out?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you. All right. In that case, that concludes today's proceedings. I will see you again on Thursday at 3:30.
All right, just listening in there, as you can see, this attack, or the Boulder terror attack suspect, making their first appearance in court, and some notes coming out of that as the next court appearance will be taking place on Thursday, as they plan to potentially file charges then of attempted murder. We're following very closely about the federal hate crime we heard from the FBI earlier on today. Of note, a $10 million bond for Mohammed Solomon. As this terror attack happened yesterday around 1:30
there should be no
local time
bond.
in Boulder, Colorado, on the Pearl Street Mall. And again, I do want to put up just some of these images that we're following very closely since yesterday. And of course, this is a live picture outside of the courthouse. I do want to give you a sense of what we're following in terms of this, as the suspect now facing charges there, as 4 additional suspects identified, in this man accused of throwing Molotov cocktails into a group that gathered to bring attention to Israeli hostages in Gaza. Of course, he also yelled "Free Palestine" and used a makeshift flamethrower and incendiary devices.
That's what I want to see. I didn't see that.
Separate criminal cases against Solomon, charging him with a hate crime and attempted murder, respectively. He faces additional state charges related to the incendiary devices, and more charges are possible in federal court. So, following this very closely since yesterday, here on Live Now from Fox. We'll slide away for a quick 2-minute break.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna go back because.
Okay, so no changes to the bond at this time. Remains $10,000 cash only.
She said 10,000.
Okay, so no changes to the bond at this time. Remains $10,000 cash only. Okay, so no changes to the bond at this time. Remains $10,000 cash only.
Okay, I think she fucked up.
So no changes to the bond at this time. Remains $10,000 cash only.
Okay, is that a fuck up? She said 10,000, and they put a $10 million bond on him. I don't know math, but does that, like, what's the percentage of? I've never been to jail, so I wouldn't know what the fuck it is. But I know it's a percentage that you pay for the bond. Is it like 10%? 10%? I don't think that is. Let me check. I'm gonna use my calculator here. Okay, so it's, and then by 10%. It would be 100,000 if it was 10%. Why did she say 10,000? I'm confused. I'm not. Am I crazy? I can go back to it. Hold on. I know. I know. I'm right. She's fucking crazy. The judge. Remember, she's a Democrat judge. So.
And with respect to the filing of charges, is it accurate that the parties believed that the appropriate day was Thursday?
No, let's go back.
And with respect to the filing of charges, is it?
Wait.
We are fine addressing it at filing of charges.
Okay, so no changes to the bond at this time. Remains $10,000 cash only.
10,000 cash
with
only.
With respect to the filing of charges, is it accurate that the parties believed that the appropriate day was Thursday afternoon back in this courtroom?
Judge, we would jointly ask for Thursday, June 5th at 3:30.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense is available at that time. Thursday, June 5th at 3:30 back here in this physical courtroom for filing of charges. Anything further from the people?
No, Your Honor.
May I just have one moment to speak with Mr. Kuffner? Yes.
Okay, we're gonna get off of this because this is weird. I don't know what she said. 10,000. The bond set is at 10 million. So 10 million. If you take away 10%, if they only paid 10%, it's 100 million. No, it's not 100 million. I'm talking about billions. Okay, so it's a 10 million. Hold on. No, it has to be. It can be. Is it just that low? 10,000? Like, I'm high, so my math is fucked. Let me see. I'm so high that I can't even see the zeros off of my phone. Okay, I was putting 100,000. Okay, I'm gonna back it out. Divided by. No. So it's supposed to be but hold on. It's 10%. I gotta figure out the math. I'm fucking high. Let me go to the immigrant stuff and I'll figure out the math on this because I don't want to miss the story. This story here is ICE targets immigrants in Boston. They made 1,500 plus arrests were made in Boston raid today. They're coming here to Connecticut. I know they are. Let's check it out.
Sex offenders, murderers, and foreign fugitives trying to evade justice in their home countries. It's long past time to remove these dangerous criminals from our communities. What we need to do is prevent them from terrorizing family, friends, and our neighbors. But the bottom line is that ICE and its federal partners wouldn't be able to conduct large-scale operations like this without the partnership you see up here. But more importantly, if sanctuary cities would change their policies and turn these violent criminal aliens over to us into our custody, instead of releasing them into the public, we would not have to go out to the communities and do this. Boston's my hometown, and it really shocks me that officials all over Massachusetts would rather release sex offenders, fentanyl dealers, drug dealers, human traffickers, and child rapists back into the neighborhoods. You know, all too often in Massachusetts and all over the Commonwealth, people use ICE's operations as a talking point, which it shouldn't be. It should be public safety all around. But instead, the brave men and women of ICE, CBP, ATF, DEA, Diplomatic Security Service, and the U.S. Marshals have to go out and pick up some of the most horrible criminals that are roaming free in Massachusetts. These are just some of them. A child sex offender that was previously deported that was released by a local agency but was back living across the street from a playground. A sex trafficker that was arrested for raping a child that was re-released back into the community. A habitual drunk driver who in the midst of his drunk driving kidnapped a child. Theft from, we had one person that was previously deported that was stealing from disabled senior citizens. Not only that, but they got several convicted murderers, rapists, spouse abusers, child abusers, and drug traffickers. You can see their mugshots, which are all up here on the photo. And I really want everyone to see that. Because not only did they enter our country illegally, but they were released back into our community by elected officials and sanctuary jurisdictions that did not want to turn these individuals over to ICE. I really want everyone to see their faces and know what's going on. So make no mistake, ICE is going to keep doing this. This operation proved that we need to be more. While this operation was going on and the brave men and women from all these agencies were out conducting operations, more criminal aliens were being released into the community. We did this already once. We saw a large number in a week time, but that just showed we needed to come back. And we're going to keep coming back because ICE is going to make sure that we keep our community safe and keep our neighborhood safe from these sex offenders and these criminal aliens. But not only are we going to keep the community safe, my goal is to keep my officers and agents and also the criminal aliens safe, because we'd rather arrest them in a local jurisdiction where it only takes 2 officers and agents and they can turn them over to us in a safe environment rather than us going back out into the community and then these criminal aliens be released back in our neighborhoods. So with that, I'll turn it over to U.S. Attorney Leah Foley.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for being here. As you know, the top priority of the U.S. Attorney's Office has been and will remain protecting the citizens of Massachusetts. And this month-long enforcement surge, led by ICE, has made our communities safer. Since January 20th, our office has charged well over 50 foreign nationals who unlawfully re-entered our country after being deported. This includes 15 individuals charged in the last month alone. These individuals violated our immigration laws when they entered the United States unlawfully, often multiple times. Some went on to commit serious crimes. Those arrested included individuals who pumped deadly narcotics into our neighborhoods, trafficked firearms for transnational criminal organizations, defrauded the government benefit programs, and in some cases preyed on vulnerable children. These are defendants who didn't simply cross the border, they crossed the line and jeopardized the safety of Massachusetts communities. When someone who is here illegally chooses to engage in crime, when they bring fentanyl into our neighborhoods, sell firearms to gangs, or assume false identities to collect benefits intended for vulnerable Americans, these are not immigrants. They are criminals, and they will be treated as such. This is about public safety, plain and simple. Our job is to protect the public, to prevent harm, and to uphold the rule of law. My office will continue to prioritize the prosecution of individuals who are in this country unlawfully and those who pose a threat to our community. Just as I said when I first became U.S. Attorney, if you threaten the safety of our residents, we will find you. We will hold you accountable, and when appropriate, we will remove you from this country. This is the land of opportunity, not the land for opportunists. Enough is enough. When we will hold you accountable for when you commit crimes in this jurisdiction. My office will continue to support and work with ICE to bring charges against those who come here illegally and commit crimes. Equally as important, I also want to add that we will not tolerate anyone who impedes or obstructs ICE operations. What I have seen on the news and in social media is concerning, to say the least. Agent safety is paramount, and it is a felony to threaten or assault a federal agent.
Yep.
I want to be clear about that. No one is above the law. This is non-negotiable. The law in this area is clear, and I will not sit idly by and watch federal agents being threatened. I also want to thank our partners at ICE and HSI, as well as our federal, state, and local law enforcement agency partners. They tirelessly work collaboratively to stand by each other and to make our community safer. Today, we are announcing real progress. However, we are not done. We are only getting started. And I would like to introduce Patricia Hyde.
Good morning. Thank you, U.S. Attorney Foley. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts is a safer place today, thanks to the work and determination of the men and women of ICE and our federal law enforcement partners. Working together, we were able to arrest almost 1,500 illegal aliens throughout the Commonwealth during the month of May, most of whom have significant criminality in the United States or abroad. Throughout this enhanced immigration enforcement operation, ICE and our federal partners targeted the most dangerous alien offenders in some of the most crime-infested neighborhoods of Massachusetts. Our efforts resulted in the arrests of 1,461 criminal alien offenders. 277 of those offenders have been ordered removed from the United States by a Justice Department immigration judge. Make no mistake, every person we arrested was breaking our immigration laws. But most of these individuals, 790 to be exact, had significant criminality as well. That is 790 alien offenders who victimized innocent people, who traumatized entire communities. Represented in these numbers are murderers, rapists, drug traffickers, child sex predators, and members of violent transnational criminal gangs. We arrested criminal aliens who have been convicted of violent crimes in the United States, and some of who were wanted for criminality in their native countries.
That's crazy.
All made the mistake of attempting to subvert justice by hiding out in Massachusetts. I want to take this opportunity to say to our officers and law enforcement partners, thank you for your professionalism, tenacity, and dedication to duty. To the residents of our Massachusetts communities,
they need to go to the other
today your
side.
streets are a little safer. To the victims of these alien offenders, know that today you will not be mistreated by your attackers. To any criminal alien offenders victimizing Massachusetts residents, ICE is not going away. We are coming for you. While removing these individuals is extremely gratifying, we still have a lot of work to do. While we covet a mutually beneficial cooperative relationship with our state and local partners, we will work around them when it becomes necessary to ensure the safety and security of Massachusetts. ICE and our federal law enforcement partners remain committed to protecting our communities and prioritizing the well-being of our public by locating, arresting, and removing criminal alien offenders and making our New England communities a safer place to live. Now, Special Agent in Charge, Homeland Security Investigations.
Thank you. Good morning, I think it is. My sincere thanks to Director Lyons, U.S. Attorney Foley, and all of our partners with whom I stand shoulder to shoulder with every day to ensure the safety and security of our communities. ICRO, CBP, U.S. Coast Guard, ATF, DEA, DSS, FBI, U.S. Marshal Service, the IRS, U.S. Attorney's Office, and many others. Today, as we announce the arrest of nearly 1,500 illegal aliens over the last 30 days, I want to reiterate, this is not a victory lap. Today is a collective reaffirmation of our commitment to ensuring the public safety and national security of our communities. With each agency bringing unique authorities and expertise, HSI special agents will continue a whole-of-government approach to take the fight to transnational criminal actors and organizations who poison our communities, who exploit and victimize our children, who defraud our citizens and government systems, who illegally harbor and employ aliens, who perpetrate violence, and all of those who choose to ignore the rule of law. It should be no secret by now that you will continue to see all of our special agents and officers in your communities conducting daily enforcement actions 24/7. I caution those who try to impede or obstruct operations, or those who dare to threaten or assault our law enforcement officers. We have been and will continue to be working with the U.S. Attorney's Office to investigate and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Our job is to uphold the Constitution, and that's exactly what we're doing. I join my colleagues when I share my heartfelt thanks for the work of the frontline officers and agents who put their lives on the line every day in support of this great nation. Thank you.
That's crazy. Listen, it needs to happen. Not only that, but that's the east side of Massachusetts. That's the Boston area. You need to come over to the west side. Come to the west side. Go to Springfield. Go to Holyoke. Go to those areas. You have a field day. You arrested how much? 1,500? Let's see if we could get 2,000 in those areas. I'm telling you because I know I'm not far from those areas, from Holyoke or from Springfield. I could get her Springfield and what? Let me see. 35 minutes? 35 minutes? Oh, Springfield I could get there probably like 35. Holyoke would take me another like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. It's they're all up in that area and they need to do a sweep there and it has to happen. They're gonna come here to Connecticut. They're coming to Connecticut. They're gonna come and raid Hartford. Hartford really needs it. Holy shit. Between Hartford, New Haven, if they could go to Bridgeport, they gotta go to Torrington. They gotta go. I'm naming like all parts of Connecticut. I'm sorry. New London. They gotta go definitely that way. Groton. That's where the Navy, where the submarine, the home of the submarine. That's the base, the home base. It's in Groton, Connecticut, and I've been there before. It's pretty cool. One day I'll probably put it on video. Because it was a long time ago. I didn't put it on video, but I could go and just take a look, show around. But there's up the coast, like, and a lot of them they're being hidden by these millionaires. There's a lot of millionaires that live around the coast, and they don't want to lose their housekeeper. They don't want to lose their help, their chef, their slave. They don't want to lose them. It's like they got like the whole family working for them. The grass is always cut, flowers looks always fresh, food always tastes delicious, house is well kept. Like, damn, I wish I had one. Send me an immigrant. Send me an immigrant. You could clean up my house and cook me some dinner. 'Cause I'm hungry now. Immigrant. I don't know. Please send me immigrant. Please send me an immigrant. No. Frick. Okay. It was just funny. I know. Yeah, they're gonna hide them. They're gonna hide them because they clean really good. They have good food. They taste good. Like these people, they're like, you're not getting my senoritas. My senorita is mine. She cooks very good for me. Like, of course. Like, but senorita is living like a princess. And she's getting paid what? Not much. And yeah, you're probably housing her and feeding her. But that's illegal. Illegal's illegal. I'm sorry. You're losing your margarita. Bye. I say bye, margarita. No, don't take my margarita. It's like, you want to go to jail too with your margarita? Because you're interfering. Like, it's a lot of immigrants here. They open door policy here for a long period of time. They brought a lot of individuals here from Afghanistan. They brought a lot from where else was it? Ukraine. A lot of them came here from Ukraine. A lot, like all different parts of the fucking world. It seems like at points it's like it's and some of the people are legit. Don't get it twisted. Some of the people are really legit. They're really nice people. They're really good, and they fucking cook good. I'm sorry, they do. I had some of their food. It's delicious. Okay. Yes, I had immigrant food. But if you came here illegally, sorry, senorita, you gotta go. And your family too. Everybody, come on. Everybody, line up. Come on. You too. Tú también, abuelita. Abuelita, come on. Yeah, even the train agrees. It's like, It's like, yeah, abuelita too. Bring her. She came through the border too. Come on. You're illegal. Come on. It doesn't have an age limit. It doesn't have an age limit. We know abuelitas came through the border. Don't get it twisted. But a lot of younglings came too, and they're being exploited. So it's just like it's disturbing. But the train of truth. Thank you. It's wild. It's just wild times. The fact that that's happening here, and Biden let it happen, man. He left the borders wide open. Disgusting. He's so disgusting. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do a couple of more, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. We got through this here, so we're okay with that. We're okay with this. So let me close them out. Let's close it out. So I think I'm good with that. This one, the FBI raids home of Colorado terrorist suspect. Maybe we should go back and watch that before we watch the others that I have. I think I got like a few more. I got like one definitely for sure. Two, yeah, three. So three more. Let's go ahead and come over here and let's check this out.
Here is a post from the New York Post on X with a photo. They're saying that the FBI has raided the home of Colorado terrorist suspect Mohammed Sabri Soliman. And I want to continue this conversation by bringing onto the program now a former FBI Special Agent Scott Duffy. Scott, good to see you.
Good morning, Corral. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for joining. I guess I want to start with the fact that, so this is being investigated as the sole suspect alone attack, if you will. How does the FBI investigate these sort of cases in comparison to, let's say, someone that is tied to an extremist group?
Yeah, so it looks like the FBI in Boulder, Colorado came out pretty quickly with regards to calling it an act of terror as opposed to something that comes out a little bit later. Ultimately, an act of terror allows the FBI to leverage its resources pretty quickly to assist Boulder and all local authorities in this attack, this unfortunate attack on 8 individuals. So with regards to terrorism, right, the FBI is able to bring all its resources, being able to look at the digital footprints of this individual. Is this a person who has mental issues and thereby calling out, free Palestine, kind of drumming that old mantra again and again since the October 7th attacks? And they're able to look to see if there's any direct connections. Anybody else involved? Is this a conspiracy? Is this one of several attacks that are going to be leveraged by a group? Or is this a lone wolf who has taken into heart whatever that is being put out there in the media and taken it upon himself to commit acts of violence against the Jewish population?
And I think my next question following that, are these kind of attacks harder to detect for the FBI versus someone who is attached to these groups that are motivated with that?
Yeah, there are a couple of things here, Corral. So, I've heard a couple of different reports that this is an area that allows for a lot of protests and rallies and so forth, all peaceful. But, you may have one side declaring their right to protest. And then comes another right to protest that might have opposing views. All that is good because it is freedom of speech and the freedom to protest. It is, where acts of violence, where it is no longer just rhetoric, but somebody purporting violence on another, that raises this to a whole nother level. And so when the FBI is looking at these, they're looking to see if something was missed on social media, especially if you have a lone wolf who may not be putting things out immediately, where it could be scrubbed by either an analyst somewhere in the federal or local law enforcement agency to say, hey, we need to take a look at this individual because this individual is escalating in their rhetoric. And so it is difficult, especially if you're looking at a lone wolf. But if there are these these connections where you're having out of country to those within the country and trying to excite violence, I imagine that there are leaks where it allows law enforcement to kind of monitor and determine whether or not they can get in front of this person before a potential act of violence is committed.
So this comes also barely a week since we also saw that deadly attack in D.C. where 2 U.S. Israeli staff members were killed as well. Is there a concern that more copycat incidents like this are going to continue on? And how does the FBI prepare and prevent that possibility?
Yeah, definitely. I would say the escalation is pretty evident. And so any type of protests, rallies where people of Jewish faith or people in support of the Jewish faith are gathering, that there should be vigilance, that you're not just going to have counter protesters, but people who are committing acts of violence against them. And so that is on the rise. And I think the pattern is only going to continue. And with regards to the FBI getting in front of this or any law enforcement, it's like anything else. It's constantly monitoring publicly available websites, et cetera, to see if the rhetoric is out there. If you have a planned rally, for example, like church services, synagogue services, et cetera, if you have planned services, law enforcement, I imagine around the world, has stepped up not only public patrols, but these synagogues also employing their own security during these major events. So it's a difficult task. But in light of the escalation of violence, the FBI and its law enforcement partners have also stepped up their vigilance in being able to want to stop these acts of violence if, in fact, they're being purported on social media and witnesses that may have heard of an act of violence being planned to report it, and for law enforcement to be able to at least step in front of these individuals to interview them and see what their intent is, see where their mindset is, and if in fact violence is actually going to be used against somebody because of their faith, their beliefs, etc.
So I want to put up here some video of that suspect. Doug, final question. I mean,
if he was really like, this is where the case could go too. Like, if he was really like, he could have had these lit and throw them. If you're committed to it, go for it all out. But he didn't, and he had supposedly he had like 14 in total. Like, what he was thinking he was gonna do with 14 of them. So it's like, it's just a weird story, and I figured out the 10%. It's 10%. So of like, someone needs to come with $1 million cash to bond him out. $1 million. And if he gets bonded out, what they're gonna do? ICE is gonna come and get him and capture him. They're gonna have to. They can't just let him walk. Yeah, he bonded out, so we just let him go. Like, are you kidding me? That sounds crazy. So let's go to the next story, because my back is killing me. I just want to get to the next story. The last story is going to be creepy. So we leave the creepy story for the end. So let's check out this report here. It's creepy, I'm telling you. Just be ready. The ones that are here watching, thank you. I appreciate you so very much. And for those who are rewatching, thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. It's very slow. The numbers are very slow, but I'm getting views. People are watching slowly. Need people to go back and watch old shows and get refamiliared again. I did many years of YouTube. I'm definitely shadow banned on YouTube. People are worried about getting shadow banned. I've been banned, like not banned off of YouTube. I never been banned off of YouTube. But I know I'm shadow banned. Like they don't push me at all. I'm homegrown. It's like word of mouth. This is how we get in here. Is word of mouth. But let's go ahead and check out this story, and then I got the creepy last one. Stay tuned for the creepy last ones. For the ones watching, like I said, thank you, and I'm gonna hook you up with a nice creepy one for the end. It's worth it. Trust me, it's worth the wait. Oh man, let me set this up. Perfect.
Let's bring in our friend Kayleigh McEnany, co-host of Outnumbered. Great to have you here. I want you to listen to Congressman Jeffries. This is what he had to say about all of this.
We don't have the presidency right now, so that's always going to be challenging a few months after a presidential election. Understandably, there's real frustration amongst the American people. They should be frustrated.
But they're frustrated with you as well, with Democrats as well.
Of course, they're frustrated with the system.
This felt a little bit like, it's not me, it's you.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's right. It's hard after you lose the presidency, your numbers go down. But where is the strategy? I'm still waiting on the autopsy of what went wrong. I mean, you just heard the Tim Walz comments about being meaner. I'm not sure that was the takeaway from the election. The takeaway was, the trans issue, language policing, the economy, and Republicans having a plan. So when is that autopsy going to come? And when are the proactive, forward-looking plans going to be manifested? No one has an agenda. They need a Newt Gingrich-like moment to reshape what their party stands for, and I haven't seen that.
It appears that anyone who goes out there is not selling the deal. They're not making the sale, we should say. CNN had a poll that just came out, compared Democrats to Republicans, and here's the view of Americans. Who's got strong leaders? 40 to 16% Republicans.
Wow.
Right? Who's the party of change? 32-25 Republicans. Who gets things done? 36 to 19 Republicans over Democrats.
Wow.
That's 3 for 3.
And when you ask Democrats their view on those issues, of Democrats, just 32% of Democrats say Democrats are the party with the strong leader. 41% think their party's the party to get things done. So you have to win back your party and then endeavor to win back independence. But word of warning to Republicans, there was an interesting poll out, JL Partners previewed it to Politico. And what they found is there's a big challenge for Republicans leading up to the midterms of motivating the Trump voter. The Trump voter shows up for Trump. And they said particularly the young men who voted for Trump, some of the new black voters who came and voted for Trump, they're not necessarily motivated to turn out for Republicans unless you frame this as this will help Republicans win the presidency in 2028. So when you frame this as a national issue with Trump, you may have a shot, but that's a word of warning.
Yeah, that's interesting. I saw that too. Hey, Bill Clinton, he had to get out there and do an interview. CBS Sunday Morning, they asked him about Biden's cognitive decline. Said didn't see it much.
Did you ever have a moment with him where you thought maybe he was unfit to run for president?
Shit.
No.
I thought he was a good president. I had never seen him and walked away thinking he can't do this anymore. He was always on top of his brief.
Oh,
You
Lord.
never saw any cognitive decline.
So I didn't know anything about any of this, and I haven't read the book. I saw President Biden not very long ago, and I thought he was in good shape.
Makes you wonder how much access he had, because that would be news.
I know.
To Michael
It's like
Bennett, who's
obvious
in the
to
book,
anyone, right?
Yeah, and we've heard from senators, at least their comments in the book, Michael Bennett, Mark Warner, however those comments got in there, questioning the mental acuity of the president. So it makes you wonder, how often did Bill Clinton see him?
That's a good point. He also said in that interview that he can't see how someone can do that job at the age of 86, which is where Joe Biden would have been had he won a second term. Well, if you're Bill Clinton, what are you going to say? Oh yeah, he was going downhill 2 years ago. The answer for him is to say, I didn't see it coming, and I thought he was up for the job.
Yeah, I think most people want to back away from this issue. This is why Republicans need to lean into this issue. Thus far, I don't think they've done a good enough job leaning in on the oversight committee.
No, he is in a position of power within the. If he wants to, like he's the Godfather, right? He could say, well, this wasn't good. We took money from people and we asked for donations from people. He could have taken a different tact, and he didn't. Maybe that's because they don't want to revisit things. They want to look backwards. I can understand why. But
And he doesn't have a political future. So the people who are really going to have to answer that question, the Kamala Harris book, that will be fascinating. Every contender in 2028 will have to answer that question. Bill Clinton has the luxury of riding off into the sunset. Others might have to be a little more forthright.
That's right. We'll see when Obama does an interview.
There you go.
Let's see. All right, Kaylee, we'll see
It's
you
going
on
to happen
Outnumbered.
right here, actually.
That'd be great to watch.
Yeah. Okay. We'll let you know when that's booked. All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah, have Obama answer
See you at noon.
questions about Biden. Come on now. He helped them walk off the damn stage. Like, Obama knows that's why they got rid of him. They got rid of freaking Biden and they put Harris in, and that was a fucking mistake. A huge mistake. Like, all right, so we come down to the last for tonight. I'm tired. I started another little joint, but it's little. It's a blend of two medicines, so it has me feeling good. Like, some of my pain has calmed down. It's the nerves. I'm telling you, the energy is very height and it's very raw right now, and it's just affecting me pretty bad. And I'm not the only one that's being affected. There's a lot of people are being affected. But I'm just very weak, very tired. My arms are tired. Like, I'm gonna get to bed early tonight. I'm trying to be asleep by like 10:30. Yeah. And I gotta wake up at 6 in the morning. I gotta wake up at 6 in the morning almost every day. So, but I don't tend to do shows that early. But maybe one day I'll do. But for now, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. If anything breaks overnight, then if I have to do a show, then I'll do it. So let's go to the last show. Like I said, thank you for watching, and I see you there. And let's go ahead and let's go to this creepy one. You guys are gonna like this one. It's gonna be fun. Make sure I get it all set up for us. Here we go.
Demon doll fever gripping the internet, with unfounded rumors that the infamous Annabelle doll went missing from its display case, usually secured by crosses and holy water.
I personally think that she did go missing. I personally think that she was stolen.
The supposedly demon-possessed doll made famous by the Conjuring franchise.
How did that get in there? I swear I threw it out.
Things must have got mixed up. Allegedly linked to decades of grisly deaths and paranormal activity.
The girl that he was with said that he was laughing about the doll when the motorcycle, just like the car, went out of control, hit a tree, and killed him instantly.
The Annabelle doll is probably one of the most infamous dolls on the planet.
Tony Spera oversees the Annabelle doll.
I took over the Occult Museum from Ed and Lorraine after Ed passed in 2006, and Lorraine did her will.
He's talking about paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, depicted in the Conjuring movies by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Every family's different.
Now, all the rumors and online chatter stirring up even more press and attention for the September release of the supernatural thriller.
I think that the movies really made the celebrity, if you will, of the doll flourish. The doll is something to be respected, not revered.
And respect is what Annabelle's getting plenty of online, with people connecting her supposed powers to fires and even recent jailbreaks.
An intense and suspicious fire actually broke out at one of the locations that Annabelle was staying at.
But then a reality check. The New England Society for Psychic Research saying the doll had not been stolen and was on display at the Warren Occult Museum in Connecticut.
Annabelle's not missing. She's not in Chicago.
I should go
Sarah
visit
says
her.
the doll has been on tour across the country, traveling to sold-out shows, and confirmed to us she is not missing.
You know, it's easy for rumors to start. The fact of the matter is that doll was never out of our sight, never out of our control. It's in a protective case that many precautions were taken to make it safe.
What do you say to the skeptics here who might not really believe that this doll has anything evil inside of it?
Now, in a way, I don't blame people for being skeptical. If people don't know about the demonic, it's very difficult to believe that these things are happening, but they do happen.
So now we know Annabelle is under the watchful eye of these paranormal professionals. But Spera still urges caution so people can avoid their own horror movie ending. Mai Eaglin, NBC News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on.
I feel like she's calling me. I go visit Annabelle and then do my own little video of Annabelle. I think that would be pretty cool. I gotta do some research to see where she's at, because they didn't say the name of the. They said she's in Connecticut, but I didn't catch the name of where. But I can find it. It's Google knows everything. But I hope it was a good ending. It was a little creepy with Annabelle. I just wanted to surprise you guys because I like that stuff. I wish I could go out on investigations. My health has been really not good, but I would have loved to have been in a team, like with maybe a team of 4, 4 or 5 of us, and just have investigations. And I'm very sensitive, so I feel energy and I can feel the person or whatever energy is there, and I can relay messages because I hear messages all the time, and it's all the energy that I pick up and I just feel it. And I'm very good. I'm kind of like a lightning rod. Yeah, I'm like a spirit box in itself. I haven't done an investigation in years. It's been years since I have the last one. I have it here. I haven't done an investigation in more than 5-6 years. But I would love to be with a professional team, to have a professional team and to do a really good investigation. And I speak proper, so, and I tell you straight up, I come with receipts. I don't go there to try to waste people's time, or I'm not trying to be your best friend. I'm trying to get this investigation, going, get it going and see what information and what happens, feel the energy. But I was gonna look into that, actually, to that society that gentleman is taking over. I wanted to become one of those that goes out on investigation and be in a paranormal team, be an investigator. But for me, with my gifts, with with the energy and just be able to easily connect to spirits, because I always get messages. But I'll leave it at that. I want to wish everyone a good day, a good morning, a good night. Say thank you again to those who are watching and the ones who are rewatching. Truly appreciate it. I'm trying to keep the shows in 2 hours. It's just because of my back is really not the greatest. My neck is really jacked up. I'm so tired right now. Like, I'm just really stiff. I don't know if you notice. I'm very, like, you can see me, I'm very stiff. It's just therapy was wild this morning, and I've been off all day with this energy and from the solar flare, and it's affecting me really hard. Really freaking hard. But I hope I have a good night's sleep tonight. But I'm gonna look outside, see if we get some solar lights, the northern lights. I'm so sore. I don't even care about the freaking northern lights. I mean, it'd be to watch it. Yeah, it'd be great. But I feels like shit. My shoulders are stiff. My neck is like tight. I'm like very, very tight here. You can see I look so stiff in the camera. I need a massage. Just, but not rough. I don't want hard hands. I need like a nice medium strength hands to massage and loosen me up. Oh, even the camera was like, "I'll loosen you up." I was like, "No, camera, you can't do it. It's not for you. Can't do it, camera." Oh no. Yeah, I need a massage. That's what's probably gonna loosen me up and make me feel a little bit better. Cause right now I feel really fucking stiff, and not feeling so good. And I don't like feeling that like that. And we're getting warm weather here. It's gonna be 88 tomorrow. I think it's gonna be in the 80s tomorrow or 70s tomorrow. I know Wednesday is supposed to be like 88, and then Thursday, I think Wednesday we might get to 90. To be honest with you, I think it's gonna be 90, and then Thursday it's gonna be like 90, 92. So it's gonna be a couple of hot days here. Time to turn on the AC. My apartment stays cool. That's what's good. If it's cool outside, it stays cool, so I don't have to turn on the AC. But I've been listening to a lot of people around, and they have their ACs on. And I'm like, damn, already have your AC on? I'm just like holding it out because, man, the light bill's no joke. That AC, if you leave it on all the time, you're looking at an additional $100 bill extra on your bill. Fucking extra $100 bill. That's bullshit, man. I was gonna talk to these people and be like, yo, I want to get this AC replaced. I need a better AC. This AC is wasting too much electricity. Like, my bill jumps up every year, $100 a month extra on my bill. And it's only like that for like the summer. And then once we get into the fall, like towards the end of September, mid-September, end of September, it starts getting cool again. And then that's what we tend to stop using the AC unit. But this motherfucker wastes a lot. I think you're a fucking hog. I think you're horrible. I think I need a better AC unit. Then I'm gonna talk to the owner and be like, listen, dude, I need a better AC unit. It's costing me too much. And not only that, it's not the greatest. It's not like something that I can wow about. The AC that I used to have here before was fucking badass. It was so good. But then they wanted to force to change the windows and all this bullshit. And then they put this Mickey Mouse AC unit. And the funny thing is that I have the old pictures of the old AC unit. So, and it didn't waste that much electricity. It didn't go more than like $50 or something like that. Like extra. No, this little shit goes up to $100. That's crazy. That's fucking nuts. It's just killing the electricity bill. So I'm gonna talk to them. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. I'm like, we're gonna have a little meeting here. Your fucking AC units are a piece of shit. I don't when I talk to the management, that's the way I talk. You think I sugarcoat how I talk? I talk how I talk. This is how I talk all the time. It's like I'm not just gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm gonna tell you straight up. The fucking AC units are a piece of shit, and it's costing me a lot of money. And you need to do something else about it because I had a better unit when I moved into this apartment. And this unit that you guys put in here, it's this Mickey Mouse. It's a Mickey Mouse unit that it's not cooling off as I would want to cool off the whole apartment. Like the last AC unit I had was so badass fucking unit. Oh man. And then when he took it off, I was so mad because I was like, fuck, man. Because that unit was so fucking good. It was such a great unit. It was quiet too. But it would cool off the whole apartment. Super cold too. And it didn't waste no fucking money. That was the best part of it. It didn't waste that much money. And now with this little shit, it's a fucking it's like a guzzler. He loves electricity. Fucking craves it every night. Fucking wild. Oh, I hope everyone's having a good night. I'm gonna get off here. Just waiting 2 more minutes and I get off. Make it to the 2-hour mark. Oh, the train is here. Right on time. I love it because I can hear the train. I love, like, it's so cool. I love it. Sometimes they're really loud. Sometimes they get like, oh, there's one of them. I think he was on the show today. He was loud. I was like, whoa. Yeah. But be careful on trains. Don't travel. If you don't have to, stay away from subways. Stay away from New York. Boston. Look at Boston. What happened to Boston? That's wild. I wonder how Boston's going to be now. Like, because that's a lot of people. And there's still a lot of immigrants there. A lot. To get it all out, oof, it's going to take. And the whole state is just full of immigrants everywhere. And Connecticut too. We're gonna twist it here too. They're gonna raid here too. They're gonna start taking, and all these politicians that want to act stupid and try to like get in the way, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in big trouble. You interfere with an ICE officer. See what happens. Fuck around and find out. Real quick. They're not playing games anymore. This is another phase. Like, we need to get them out. And we need to go fast. Because they got here pretty quick. So now we got to take them out pretty quick. Right? Let's see if we could take them out before, Trump leaves office. So we can have a clean United States with no illegal, immigrants. Like, they're going to scan everybody. They're going to do a census. Gonna have to probably do a roll call, get everybody in, make sure everyone that matches the Social Security matches their information, like with their information that they have on file, to prove who you are. If you have everything, you're fine. Like me, I'm fine. I go in the office, I here, oh, have a good day. That's right, motherfucker. Me pasa el día bueno. So start talking in Spanish. Start leaving. And then you're like, oh, immigrant! Immigrant, hit the immigrant button. It's like, no, motherfucker. I know Spanish. So hit the immigrant button. They got the easy button. The easy button that says immigrant button. So you press it. It's like, oh no, I got pushed. Man, they came illegal. They should know the consequences. I don't feel bad. You know? I felt bad that they had to walk and do, I don't know, all that they went through to get here, and then now you're being sent back. So was it worth it? I don't know. And the thing is that if you don't leave and you don't self-deport, the longer it takes for them to take you out, the longer it's going to be worse for you down the line. You know, self-deport is the easiest way. Shit, they're giving you money to self-deport. They're giving you money to self-deport so that way you can start your little life where you go, and you have the money. You're getting a free ride back home. You don't have to pay for the plane ticket, and you keep the clothes and whatever you want to take. You can take with you, and when you get over there, you know, hopefully you can find a place to live with the money we gave you. That's it. End of story. But the world is it's a wild place. It's wild. It's only gonna get wilder. And keep your eyes peeled, and don't be around large crowds, and you know, keep the eyes in the back of your head, and all around. Just know your surroundings. That's all. And don't put yourself in any protest or any predicament where you could get yourself harmed. It's useless. You know, it's just like it's hard for me because I wanted to do some trips and stuff, and I want to go check out some waterfalls. And man, it's like I don't want to be around people. I don't want to be around people. People are just dangerous right now. Like, but enjoy life to the fullest. Just be cautious. That's all. Everything's gonna get wild. We know that. Just we'll keep our eyes peeled, and if anything breaks overnight, I'll come on early in the morning and I'll do a show. I'll be talking about it. And until then, like I said earlier, have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening wherever you're located. And I'll catch everybody on the flip side because I'm very tired. Peace.